Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Green here with knowmorenews.org. Thank you for joining me. Today is Saturday, December 5th, 2020, and just realized I don't have my correct starting screen on. Adam Green, No More News, if you happen to be new. knowmorenews.org, DLive, BitChute. We're going to be covering today the Great Reset, Klaus Schwab's Fourth Industrial Revolution, the World Economic Forum, and a ton of people have been covering this, but nobody quite has covered the information that I'm going to share with you today about these issues, which I think is the crux of the issue that's going on here. So this is going to be a quick stream, 50 minutes hopefully, and then I'm going to hop over and watch the High Impact Flicks and Anomaly debate. So you guys will join me over there, and this will be up on BitChute. So we have this, the longtime head of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, with his just ridiculous, futuristic Superman from outer space outfit. He's a transhumanist. He is has the new book out, The Great Reset, and he is pretty sure he's got COVID-19, the Great Reset. He's got the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Schwab created a foundation in 2004, with prize money from the Dan David Prize he received that year from Israel. He is a former member of the steering committee of the Bilderberg Group. Believe he's probably CFR as well, part of this global government that we're seeing unfold right now with COVID and the pandemic. World Economic Forum, here's a little quick Great Reset promotion video that they have here. We'll play. The beginning of a movie. The world is collapsing. Birth pangs of the Moshiach. The new messianic era is about to start. Zoom, connected, internet of things, smart cities, robots, drones, mass vaccines, medical tyranny, one world currency, diversity, multiculturalism, worldwide, pollution, fake meat, genetic, lab-grown meat, Black Lives Matter, there you go, test tube babies, gene editing, space wars, climate change laws. That's a nice shot. Oh, it's going to be glorious. Like water and fish and trees. Join us. Join us. Pick up your Klaus Schwab Superman 3 costume at the website. 8 predictions for the world in 2030. They lay them all out for you. Here's the video. 8 predictions. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. It starts off right away like a SNL skit. Whatever you want, you'll rent. You won't own anything. Delivered by drones. The U.S., and I know a lot of people have probably covered this. I'm going to get into issues. A handful of countries will dominate. I'm going to show things about this that nobody else has shown, so stick with me. The U.S. won't be the world's leading superpower. Oh, doesn't that sound glorious? The United States. Interesting that they point this out. It's acknowledging the U.S. as a superpower and saying they're going to bring down America and then usher in this new global government, which is going to be controlled by, we'll see here in a minute. Handful of countries will dominate. It'll be China and Russia and Israel and India and the Eurasian superstate to the Federated Union of Continents, like Ben-Gurion said. But eventually, ultimately, the agenda is from Jerusalem. There's a video from the Christian Broadcast Network that talked about they don't want the Hague anymore. They want the center, the capital, to be a religious, political, one world government, one world religion, Noahide law, one world currency from Israel and their cybersecurity dominance. You won't die waiting for an organ. 3D printed organs. You'll eat much less meat. What if I want to eat more meat? I want to buy a grill and eat steak every day. Is that not going to be allowed? An occasional treat. You know, the elite will be having all their elite meats, the finest cuts, grass-fed, all of that stuff. But the peasants will just eat the slave food. Take your soy, take your fake meats, take your genetically modified, pesticide-ridden foods. 1 billion people will be displaced. I wonder where they're going to go. I wonder what countries they're going to open up the borders and flock to. Refugees welcome. We'll have to do a better job of welcoming and integrating refugees. Like there's just no debate. Just everybody's going to have to mix together everywhere in the world, except for Israel, of course. They're the holy ones that need to be kept separate. Polluters will have to pay. Global price for carbon taxes. Get rid of fossil fuels. We're going to go to Mars. How long have they been saying that? Scientists will have worked out how to keep you healthy in space. Start of a new journey to find alien life. Okay. Western values. So they're going to bring down Western values. So what does that mean? We're going to have Eastern values, communism? Checks and balances must not be forgotten. What is that? You'll own nothing and you'll love it. Here's Klaus Schwab says, must prepare for an angrier world. I just realized that none of the volume has been working, but I guess you guys just missed the music. Oh, that's going to suck without the music. Have you guys been telling me that the music wasn't playing yet? Have you guys been telling me that in the chat and I missed it?
That we make sure that those people who are really left behind, and I'm not speaking only on national levels, I'm speaking also internationally. If I see now the tragedy in some of the emerging countries like South Africa, like some countries in East Asia, I think it's all, I don't have too many remedies. The remedies have to be discussed through dialogue by the stakeholders of our global system. But I just see the need for such a dialogue, and I see the need for action. I see the need for a great reset. We can, and the World Economic Forum is very open. And
we don't have time to play that whole thing. Let's get into some of the stuff I found here. Haaretz, Davos, who does this guy bow to? Who does this guy tremble to offend? Haaretz, Davos chair Klaus Schwab apologizes for magazine's Israel boycott call. Annual Economic Forums, the World Economic Forum, publication includes article by American academic calling for a, quote, movement against Zionism. Schwab offered a sweeping apology to all delegates for an article calling for the boycott of Israel that appeared. Sounds like they don't want a dialogue on this, right? He goes, oh, we want the dialogue. That appeared in a prestigious magazine issued by the forum. He was shocked, quote, shocked to read it. It's in a magazine called The Global Agenda. As a publisher, said Mort Zuckerman, head of the Zionist Organization of America, I have to take full responsibility for everything that appears in my publication, whether I read them or not. Maybe that's a different Morton Zuckerman. I thought, what's the name of World Organization of America? DOA head is Morton Klein. Not even close. All right. Anyway, the magazine Global Agenda, Schwab said he would rather forego having a magazine altogether at next year's conference unless he had, quote, absolute guarantees that this would not happen again. Among the contributors to the magazine are such leaders such as Vladimir Putin and Angela Merkel. So it sounds commie. The 2-page article in question was headlined Boycott Israel, written by academic Mazin. Its message summarized in the subheading was, quote, global civil society ought to boycott Israel until it ends its apartheid like treatment of Palestinians. The article asserted that Zionism can be seen as watch this, they scapegoat white people for Jewish Zionism. The article asserted that Zionism, quote, Zionism can be seen as 19th century style chauvinistic, ethnocentric, nationalistic response to prevalent European chauvinistic, ethnocentric nationalism. So they just say, oh, you guys were doing it first, so if, that's why they were doing it. As if Judaism hasn't been ethnocentric and Zionism isn't chauvinistic, that they think they're chosen to go to Israel to fulfill destiny to rule the world. It's in this sense an attempt at assimilation by some Jews following a now outdated European colonial model. So, they were just following the Europeans' model. The last paragraph of the article, Global Civil Society Build a Movement Against Zionism. Schwab said in a letter to all the delegates, listen to how much he got in trouble for this. With great concern and pain, I just learned that the Global Agenda, a publication distributed to our members at the annual meeting 2006, contains an article calling for the boycott of Israel. This article is totally in contradiction to my own and the forum's mission and values. For 36 years, so they are hardcore Zionists, support Zionism fully, and you will see Netanyahu's role in this great reset and the fourth industrial revolution here in a minute. For 36 years, Schwab has been committed to fighting for better mutual understanding in the world. So peaceful protest for Palestinian human rights is not allowed. Not up for debate. The forum has been deeply involved in efforts to create better relations and reconciliation in the Middle East. He's called it an unacceptable failure in the editorial process, profoundly apologize, express his regret to everybody, and can assure that everyone that appropriate steps have been instituted to ensure that this situation will never happen again. This is like the biggest apology of his life. It shows who's controlling the World Economic Forum, this apology, in my eyes. Schwab called an Israeli newsman to say how, quote, terrible and pained he felt when the article was brought to his attention. It happened. He has to take responsibility. He will apologize personally to such good friends, Shimon Peres and Professor Braverman. All right. Next, Jewish-Christian relations. Jewish-Christian relations is the International Council of Christians and Jews. It's a group that's an umbrella organization of 38 national groups in 32 countries worldwide engaged in the Judeo-Christian dialogue for Noahide laws. Founded as a reaction to the Holocaust, many groups of theologians, historians, and educators dedicated their efforts to seek Christian-Jewish reconciliation. Esau's reconciliation with Jacob, to come and serve them and be Noahides, or be a Amalek and be destroyed. Oh, and by the way, speaking of Amalek, if you guys want to become an Amalek, I've been announcing it on multiple shows, telling people to subscribe on DLive, but I didn't have the subscribe button activated. So now you can subscribe, support the channel through DLive, support DLive, who's standing up for free speech, and become an Amalek. That's the title you get in the chat when you support the channel. Appreciate everybody that's already, all the Amalekites I'm already seeing in there. Means a lot. Okay, so International Council of Christians and Jews. International Council of Christians and Jews. What do we have here? SHSCHW. The annual ICCJ Sternberg Awards, Sir Sigmund Sternberg, that's a name, award, was presented jointly to Professor Dr. Klaus Schwab at the World Economic Forum. So he wins Sir Sigmund Sternberg Award and bows and grovels and makes the biggest apology and mistake of his life when he allows I'll make Esau an option 2, I guess. Okay. Anyway, so award winner from this Judeo-Christian group. Now, this is an amazing article. What a coincidence here. And when we're talking 9/11, I don't know if there's many coincidences. We look at the coincidences surrounding 9/11 a little deeper, don't we? So here's Jewish Telegraph Agency. Religion has role at economic forum. How about that? The Judeo-Christian religion. This is Rachel Pomerantz. That's the name of the lawyer that helped Trump get bailed out by Wilbur Ross, the Rothschild banker in the early 1990s. I think his name was Alan Pomerantz. I wonder if they're related. But this is 2002. There is Klaus Schwab next to his rabbi friend, one of the top rabbis in New York, and Chabad Lubavitch rabbi. At least he looks Chabad Lubavitch. I'm not 100% sure. Probably is. Oh, wait, here we go. Israel's chief Ashkenazi rabbi, Yisrael Meyer Lau. So we know what 9/11 was. And look at what 9/11, how they reacted to it. This is how they reacted. Bring all the religious leaders into Davos. Now it says here, among the who's who of business and political leaders roaming the halls of this year's World Economic Forum was an unprecedentedly large contingent of rabbis, priests, and philo-Semitic imams. The new members of one of the world's most elite clubs demonstrates that, especially since 9/11, religion increasingly is seen as an integral force in economic and political relations. One world government, one world religion. Quote, what September 11th demonstrated more forcefully ever is that religion can be terribly abused for violent purposes that can affect us all, said Rabbi Rosen. In fact, the founder and president of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, was having breakfast with Rabbi Arthur Schneier at his Park East Synagogue in New York when the two jets struck the World Trade Center, Schneier said. I mean, I'm sure that Klaus Schwab is just having meetings and breakfasts with top rabbis all the time, or at least somewhat frequently. Maybe not rare, but is it a coincidence that he was there on the morning of 9/11 to help create the narrative, to help play out a script or something? Because look at what happened. He's there on the morning of 9/11, and now all the rabbis are coming into Davos with the Christian Zionists and these Noahide, one world, build the temple religion people. Not to mention, I played the clip all the Israeli foreknowledge of 9/11. There's the dancing Israelis, the Odysee text messages. There is the weird predictive programming with the Israeli billionaire Mossad agent film producer Arnon Milchan, who made Medusa Touch, plane crashing into the building. He made Fight Club right before 9/11 that showed the buildings blown up and collapsing. And the rabbi I just played the clip of the other day where he says that the top Kabbalah rabbi from Israel came to New York and said, see those buildings, say bye-bye to those buildings, and that it's all, the Holocaust and 9/11 are all predicted in the Zohar, and that this means the end times are coming with big wars. So I'm skeptical here. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, here. He referred, so when Schneier, this rabbi he was meeting with, and we're going to get into him a bit here, said, we must pledge to invoke God's name for life and not death, for peace and not strife, for tolerance and not for oppression. He referred to the fourth commandment, not to take the Lord's name in vain, because That's one of the Noahide laws. Do not blaspheme the oneness of God, of the God of the Hebrew Bible. And this is what they want the Islam and Christianity to all get behind, this Noahide one God. The significance of religious leaders being incorporated into a dialogue with political leaders and CEOs is of great value, Schneier said, because after September 11th, when we talk about reevaluation of priorities and values, we religious leaders will have to have the ear of the people. So right after 9/11, there they are. There's the end to the World Economic Forum for the one world religion. Interesting how 9/11 was the catalyst for this. Now, this is the rabbi that Klaus Schwab was having breakfast with on the morning of 9/11. Arthur Schneier, one of the top Holocaust survivor, one of the top rabbis in New York, served 50 years as senior rabbi. He's an Orthodox rabbi, went to Yeshiva University. Where's my highlights? That same year, Rabbi Schneier was the keynote speaker at the Interfaith Conference convened by King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia. So this interfaith center that they're setting up in the UAE with the synagogue, the church, and I forgot to mention with the Israelis earlier, the prior knowledge, the dancing Israelis, the biggest one, forgot to mention. That same year, King Abdullah, so meeting with the Saudis for the one world religion, that they're look at MBS and look at Kushner, best buds. In 2009, he had a private audience with the Pope to reaffirm Nostra Aetate, I think that's how it's pronounced, adopted by the Second Vatican Council. So he's involved with the Second Vatican Council and the new Noahide Jesuit Pope who wants to eradicate anti-Semitism and says inside every Christian is a Jew. This rabbi was named 100 Most Trusted People in America by Reader's Digest. Press whatever you press to doubt. One of the 50 most influential rabbis from 2009 to 2013 by Newsweek. This rabbi that Klaus Schwab was having breakfast with on 9/11 is the member of the Council on Foreign Relations and the board of the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. He's the honorary chairman of the Religious Zionists of America and serves as vice president of the World Jewish Congress. Quite the resume. Just say if there was a conspiracy, this would be one of the guys that was in the know. Just like just a coincidence that Ari Fleischer, Bush's press secretary on 9/11, is also Chabad. Let's see if I can find that photo. It's on Bolin's website. Here we go. This is Ari Fleischer, who was right there on the morning of 9/11. Just such a coincidence that this small supremacist international sect who Senator Lieberman said is bigger than the CIA. Okay, if Bolin's website would start. There he is, helping Bush, Ari Fleischer, Chabad Lubavitch. There he is with his black cube on his forehead with the Lubavitchers. Close friends with Burrell Lazar, Putin's rabbi. We're going to get into that soon. And remember, Putin and Bibi, I think, were both involved with 9/11. Because they're handlers like Roman Abramovich and Lev Leviev. He comes up in here too. International biggest funders of Chabad Lubavitch. Here he is, Chabad Lubavitch, the press secretary, helping Bush write his response to 9/11. There he is again, giving him the talking points. That's his brother who is tied in with stuff too, tied in with Iraq. Okay, anyway. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. So this rabbi, I think I already did all the highlights. Rabbi Schneier. Here he is, just another coincidence. Rabbi Schneier at the reflections and dedications to the Rebbe Schneerson, who, remember, the Chabad Lubavitch Rebbe was meeting with Netanyahu early on in his career when he first got into politics, giving him his kosher stamp of approval, saying that he likes what he's saying and that he needs to help him hasten the Messiah, the Moshiach. just like the Prime Minister of Israel on 9/11/2001, Ariel Sharon, says that the Rebbe gives him the most interesting military advice. This is the people who, from the Zohar, they get their mantra for their Israeli intelligence, Mossad: thou shalt wage war by deception with wise counsel, as it says in the Zohar. Jacob, the Jews, should use deception to exploit and trick, and use secrecy to defeat Esau, who they say are the Gentiles. So, just makes me wonder, a lot of coincidences here. Now, this is from the website Institute of Noahide Code. We have Rabbi Cohen. I just did a 2-hour documentary on my channel about Rabbi Cohen and his work at the United Nations promoting the Noahide laws. I'll put the link below. It's on my BitChute. But we're going to do a Control F and do SCH. Rabbi Schneier is here at a speaking event with Rabbi David Cohen, of the founder and director of the Institute of Noahide Code. There he is, a photo together. Rabbi Schneier and Rabbi Cohen of the Noahide laws at the UN. So we got UN, Rabbi Cohen, Schneier, now at World Economic Forum. Oh, wow, there's more Schneiers. Oh, wait, they might not be Schneiers. Schneerson. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, the Schneier meets with the Pope for this, I don't know how to pronounce this. Sorry, I didn't go to Catholic school. Nostra Aetate. I saw E. Michael Jones talking about this. This is the agreement that they had with the Jews. I believe the Second Vatican Council is where they really, things changed to be more, or to become philo-Semitic in the Catholic Church. Of course, the Protestant Reformation Judaized and led to the Christian Zionists. Here's Chabad Lubavitch's website now, lubavitch.com. In conversation, Russia's chief rabbi on Russia and the Jews today, Beryl Lazar and Putin. And we have here, this is the interview question to Beryl Lazar, Putin's rabbi. You were at the World Economic Forum in Davos recently. Tell me about your experience there. He says, Rabbi Beryl Lazar says, I've been going to Davos for 8 years now. It is an amazing opportunity to meet and talk with leaders in business, politics, and religion. And that's thanks to Mr. Klaus Schwab, the president of the World Economic Forum, who has been inviting religious leaders for the past 10 years or so, since 9/11, since he was having breakfast with Rabbi Schneier, or so, to interact with business people and people in government, to facilitate a bridging of cultures and religions. I love that. That's a funny meme there with Nicolas Cage. Anyway, so there's Putin's rabbi. Remember, Putin, former KGB, was propped up into power by Roman Abramovich, one of the biggest billionaires that funds Chabad Lubavitch. Now we have New York Jewish Week. Global unity or chaos? Remember, chaos is the darkness. Chaos is Esau. Chaos is the Gentiles in the Kabbalistic view. Global unity or global chaos? A special report from the World Economic Forum by Rabbi Shmuley Yanklowitz. Ooh, that's a name. He says, I have returned to Switzerland this week as the rabbinic representative to join global partners and interfaith leaders at the World Economic Forum. Here, we continue to plan the annual gathering in Davos this winter and to think tank the greatest moral, economic, and political issues of our time. In conversations about global issues with interfaith leaders from around the world, the case articulated was clear. We need more interreligious unity. Quote, all men must have the one true faith. This is Noahide laws that they're talking about. Noahide laws being pushed at the World Economic Forum with Klaus Schwab, who is obviously tied in with the Zionist tyrant agenda. I'd propose 3 possible Jewish theological frameworks for relationships with the divine that can enable and encourage us to encounter the faiths of others. Noahide relationships at the World Economic Forum. All relationships originate from Sinai, so the Mosaic Law. relationships respecting the distinct particular moral codes of others. Except we know what their real doctrine is that Christianity is idol worship and Islam is heretical. In contrast, there is a position that Noahide laws are not distinct from Sinaitic laws. The Midrash explains that, quote, the Noahide laws are the same as the laws that Jews were commanded at Sinai. Engaging together with others who appear different is crucial because we actually share the same law. It's like, hey, guys, you guys follow the same law as us. You have an obligation as well. Worship the God that chose us. Serve us as Esau. It's a great deal. Otherwise, you will be decapitated and destroyed as Amalek. Your memory will be wiped away from the planet. The darkness will be eliminated. And it says, we share the same law. Jewish leadership can play a crucial role as global connector. It sounds just like Rabbi Laitman. We've been sent here as aliens from a different dimension to conquer Earth, to connect the world and serve our destiny and our purpose. The Jewish leadership can play a crucial role as global connector. Meanwhile, I got clips of rabbis saying there's going to be a big end times war between Ishmael and Esau, which is the Arabs and the Europeans, and they will clash and they will destroy each other in Gog and Magog war. And we're in the middle and we're instigating and we play both sides. Ugh. The crucial role is global connector. This is what they believe Tikkun Olam is, healing the world with the Noahide laws. Just imagine, again, Lubavitch's website. Chief Rabbi of Russia speaks at World Economic Forum, Beryl Lazar. This time around, president of CIS, Federation of Jewish Communities, Lev Leviev, I believe, tied to Kushner, business partners, diamond tycoon tied to Kushner, one of the world's biggest, that we know of, biggest funders of Chabad Lubavitch, and also very close to Putin, is also taking part in the Davos Forum. Rabbi Lazar serves as a member of the World Economic Forum's Council of 100. Beryl Lazar is a part of a interreligious group in Russia where they are trying to say that you can't use Christian verses and interpret them that are anti-Semitic, and that they're doing this, the unity of one God, everybody recognizing the one God thing. Also, remember, they tried to change the Constitution to acknowledge this one God that they're doing. Let me make sure I didn't skip anything here. No, that's it. Short article. Here's Shmuley Boteach, who is also connected to Chabad, top famous rabbi. He says, Shabbos in Davos. So Shabbos, very, very close with the Jewish community, obviously. Is all the other conspiracy researchers covering World Economic Forum and the Great Reset, have they gotten into any of this information? And I'm only just getting started. It's getting worse from here on out. Is everybody else covering this stuff, or is this the one part that they won't cover, that they won't get into? Too afraid of the stigma of calling out the chosen ones. Wow, thanks for the lemons, guys. So I don't even want to read this article, but just, you guys know Shmuley Boteach. I've covered him many times. He says, Shabbos and Davos almost rhymes, like the two are meant to be together. This is 2013. And so it felt this past weekend at the Alpine World Economic Forum in Switzerland. Every year on Friday night, the forum hosts a Shabbat meal. Longtime attendants say, started with a handful of people, leading Israeli economists, who now boast world leaders and Jewish personalities from around the globe. Okay. Shabbos and Davos. Now, some articles from World Economic Forum. Notice the narrative. This is what there is going to be on their agenda. 90% of European Jews say anti-Semitism is getting worse. We need to punish those anti-Semitic Amalek Europeans. This is the agenda. Like they show their studies here. Oh, Europe is so anti-Semitic. We need anti-Semitism laws. We need anti-Semitism czars. We need to implement this definition of the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition. There's bills that Trump signed into law for Europe to implement and impose this definition on all the institutions and countries around the world. Trump's executive order for free speech on campus included this definition and shutdown of BDS and boycotting Israel. So there's one headline, World Economic Forum. Here's a tweet, rising anti-Semitism. Oh, this is the same article, though. We have World Economic Forum. To fight anti-Semitism, we need to understand where it came from. Comes from Amalek. Comes from Esau, who is born hating them, that hates them for no reason. They don't even know why. They're just born anti-Semites. I do seem over-caffeinated, yes. I just had a big cold brew. And I got to speed it up because I'm going to watch the debate at 1 here with Anomaly and High Impact Flicks. So we need to understand where it came from. They say that it's all anti-Semitism is illogical, it's completely baseless, and that it's just the hatred. It's just the hatred of Amalek. So in order to get rid of the anti-Semites, they're going to need laws, they're going to need punishments, and they're going to need tons of propaganda. They're going to try to put you out of business, destroy your life, put you in prison, and possibly the death penalty. According to the Noahide laws, that's what they say. That's what Maimonides says. What does that say? Ancient tradition of hatred, yes. The ancient hate. Everybody hates them for no reason. It's all over the world since the beginning of time. Here's World Economic Forum. Pinchas Goldschmidt, Chief Rabbi and President, Conference of European Rabbis. He's a member there. World Economic Forum, deaths from far-right terrorism have more than tripled in the West. Whose narrative does this sound like? Does this sound like white people or Nazis that Alex Jones says is behind these groups? Or the Chi-Coms? We know whose agenda this is. This is the ADL International Jewish Agenda. Jews from far-right deaths from far-right terrorism have more than tripled in the West. This is the narrative. Right-wing extremism, the new wave of global terrorism. It is so undoubtedly, it's just so simple to see who is behind the World Economic Forum agenda and who is running. World Economic Forum, Jonathan Greenblatt featured on their website. The Anti-Defamation League's Jonathan Greenblatt is a real hero to the World Economic Forum, countering the real threats of cyber hate, how dare the Goyim hate our Zionist agenda to enslave them and rule the world according to our prophecies? How dare the Goyim blow the whistle about how we think they're cattle and beasts of the field and impure, demonic Satan seed souls? How dare they're not allowed to read from the Zohar and the Talmud. That's a death penalty in our religion. World Economic Forum, more with the agenda. Cultural assimilation is a crucial part of reducing anti-immigrant sentiment in native populations. Like Israel Zangwill, like the Rebbe, they want the melting pot, like Barbara Specter, like the Kalergi Plan, funded by Warburg and Rothschild. Cultural assimilation. We need to just mix all the Goyim together. I should have done the Greenblatt voice, I know. No time. Now, what else is the agenda? Now we're getting the who's behind the fourth industrial revolution? World Economic Forum. From Israel's, quote, startup nation, 4 lessons of innovation. The beacon, the light into the Gentiles. Going to use their advanced technology to usher in the new age of androgynous test tube babies, genetically modified everything. Smart cities, Internet of Things. Israel is a tech titan. These 5 charts explain its startup success. Oh, look at the light. Look at the light unto the nations in Jerusalem. I wish I could link all the videos I did on the playlist up on my YouTube channel of Israel's tech agenda, but that all got banned, so I'll try to link some below. Definitely Netanyahu's video about his Netanyahu's plan to rule the world. It had like 70,000 views, banned. Here we again, World Economic Forum. Netanyahu welcomes global investors to Israel's epicenter of innovation. So remember the video we watched at the beginning. America's no longer going to be a superpower, and other countries are going to, step up. And America's going to have to be put down. Edom and America and the West and European is going to have to be destroyed and repent and serve the chosen ones. The epicenter. The cybersecurity and advanced tech must come forth from Jerusalem. And Netanyahu. So America's going down. Israel is a rising power among the nations and a light unto the nations, as prophesied by Isaiah, as Netanyahu said. Now, here's Klaus Schwab, founder, World Economic Forum, talking about global cyber pandemic. Man, I'm going so fast today. It's like I'm already sped up to 1.5.
But still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack. To use the COVID-19 crisis as a timely opportunity to reflect on the lessons the cybersecurity community can draw and improve our preparedness for a potential cyber pandemic.
Cyber pandemic. That's what they have for us next, or at least the threat of a cyber pandemic. Remember, Netanyahu was at the United Nations and said that he wanted to have a world governing body for cybersecurity, and he said Israel should be in charge of it. It's in the video. I'll link it below. Netanyahu's plan to take over the world. Israel can offer much to the region, says Netanyahu, and is open to talks on a Middle East peace plan. World Economic Forum. World Economic Forum. Religious violence is on the rise, but can faith-based community? What can faith-based communities do about it? Well, they're going to promote the Noahide laws. That's what they're doing. Klaus Schwab. I don't know why I have that there. Okay, here we go. World Economic Forum. The Great Reset. Duque, Kagame, and Netanyahu. How to harness digital tech after the pandemic. Netanyahu's role in all of this, huh? Here's Netanyahu. Netanyahu pauses coronavirus meeting to address World Economic Forum panel. Yes, Fourth Industrial Revolution by Klaus Schwab. It's a book he wrote. It's this is article on World Economic Forum. He says, ubiquitous mobile supercomputing, intelligent robots, self-driving cars, from Israel's dominating there, neurotechnological brain enhancements, Neuralink, Elon Musk, who is in the PayPal mafia, genetic editing. The evidence of dramatic change is all around us, and it's happening at an exponential speed. Also, the androgyny agenda. So, Fourth Industrial Revolution, who gets invited to the Great Reset Harnessing the Fourth Industrial Revolution panel? None other than Netanyahu.
To spend that birthday with us.
Well, who's counting these days? But thank you. Thank you very much. Boy, it's a pleasure to be with you and my friends, Presidents Duque and President Kagame and all of you. As my staff is moving around here, I'm actually in my office here, the Prime Minister's residence. I stopped a coronavirus cabinet, which we're dealing with some of these questions that I'll address, that you asked me to address.
Okay, we're going to skip to the good part.
The second thing is we have a deliberate program to increase our technological cadres. Okay, that means that, for example, the number of IT first degree students in our universities has increased by 70% in a few years. That's a deliberate strategy that we're doing.
They have a deliberate strategy for decades. He said this in other interviews as well. In Netanyahu's plan to rule the world, look at the link below. to find it in the description on BitChute. The Talpiot plan to find the smartest students and put them in Unit 8200 and train them in cybersecurity and intelligence and spread them across the world so they can spy and dominate the world in a fourth industrial revolution, going to be controlled from Israel. Now,
because you'd say, well, wait a minute, but you're creating a digital divide because these guys are at the top. And what about
digital divide? Israel is at the top and everybody else is down below. They're going to rule the world via technology.
Those who are at the bottom, but they're pulling everyone else. And also they're providing, you're educating also educators. And so we are increasing, we're constantly increasing the number of skilled, high-tech workers per capita. We're still the highest in the world, actually.
Okay, yeah, they're the highest in the world. They're just geniuses. Watch the whole video below. Watch this whole thing. I'll put the link there below too. But of course, is Alex Jones telling you that Netanyahu's spearheading this fourth industrial great reset revolution? No, he tells you that Netanyahu's going to come save the day.
And now we actually have parts of the Israel and the leftist lobby and turning against all those crazy self-hating Jews and other people in Hollywood and in D.C. And there is a civil war really going on inside the Israel lobby to a great extent. And like the cavalry, here comes Netanyahu over here supporting what Trump's doing.
Oh, like the cavalry, Netanyahu with Klaus Schwab and the Great Reset and Chabad Lubavitch saving the day, the cavalry, the good guys. And these are the whole networks and groups that are behind QAnon, duping everybody with this messianic view of Trump that also has the dark to light Chabad symbolism and the whole like no more war, no more taxes, it's all the evil is going to be destroyed, the cabal is going to be locked up in the pedophiles. It's all a fake narrative they use to dupe everybody.
It's the Israel lobby, the conservative Israel lobby, there's more than one, that is backing the tax cuts, backing the basic Trump agenda. And that's being done out of self-preservation because Jews in America are now waking up to this completely. And that is a powerful lobby and on average a wealthy group of people. And to have that whole group now against the globalist is just absolutely devastating. And
Netanyahu's against the globalist guys. Here he is at the Great Reset. Will Jones play Netanyahu and show you all these articles about Israel and cybersecurity? No, the Chi-Coms run everything. It's the Chi-Coms. Meanwhile, they're working so closely with Israel with the technology. It's just this is why I despise Alex Jones so much and will not let up on him. Major disinformation agent. Okay, here we go. World Economic Forum of India. Here's one of the 2013 meetup. We have, this is really small, but we have Avraham Berkowitz, Director, Chabad Lubavitch Headquarters, attending Davos. Now, here he is, Avraham Berkowitz. I
can't believe I'm telling this right now. I'm just going to go all the way right now. And the situation in Syria and Egypt and our friends in Israel. You say people want to demonize Israel all day. It's because the real folks that are in Israel, the real people, understand what it is to be persecuted and targeted, and Israel with Benjamin Netanyahu, they're trying to remove from office right now. And again, I was never even a fan of Netanyahu. I wasn't his enemy. I just wasn't studying it.
Total Zionist shit.
Come to America's aid.
I just wasn't studying. I was never his enemy. I just wasn't studying. He knows damn well Netanyahu is deeply involved at the highest levels of 9/11. Total shill. Okay, so this is the Chabad rabbi at the World Economic Forum. It's not important what he says here. It's a snooze fest. But check this out. His other role is he's the head of the CDC Foundation. Head of the CDC Foundation. Here's his Twitter. Chabad rabbi. He's the top Chabad rabbi. He is also the advisor to the CDC Foundation, does the fundraising for the CDC. Follower of the Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Schneerson of righteous memory, at Davos, at the CDC, and what are we going through right now? A pandemic with the CDC. CDC Foundation. That's who he works with there. There he is, Avraham Berkowitz following him. CDC Foundation, not important. So then we have articles like this. Who are the Jews behind the coronavirus vaccine? And anybody that doesn't want the mandatory vaccine, well, you're an anti-Semite. Online forums for anti-vaxxers are hotbeds of anti-Semitism, UK report finds. Another one, anti-Semitism rising in anti-vaxxer movement. Are they protesting too much here? New report warns that 79% of anti-vaccination networks host Jew hate. Well, we better censor all of them. I did a video, I'll link it below, Trump's new miracle drug, Regeneron. Remember, he said, Regeneron, it's a miracle cure. He took it. It healed him. Well, of course, the CEO of Regeneron donates big time to Chabad Lubavitch, and his wife is the head of, not the World Jewish Congress, the Jewish National Committee, the American Jewish Committee, the AJC. The head of Regeneron donates to Chabad Lubavitch, and his wife is the head of the American Jewish Congress. I mean, coincidences every single time. I mean, come on, how could I not notice this? Also, the other miracle drug that they promoted for COVID was hydroxychloroquine, and the biggest person that was promoting this, Hasidic New York doctor who promoted hydroxychloroquine, was a right-wing star, was tied in with Giuliani and Jerome Corsi and all of the Fox News people promoting this. Imagine the odds that both of the miracle drugs have this close of a connection to Chabad and ultra-Orthodox Jews. Recording this a couple hours after the stream, but something else I remembered that I wish I would have included in this stream is that Bill Gates, who is front and center in the pandemic, is close friends meeting with Jeffrey Epstein, investing into companies with Jeffrey Epstein. Bill Gates met with Jeffrey Epstein many times despite his past. That's 2019 New York Times Business Insider. Bill Gates' relationship with Epstein deeper than originally thought. And Epstein, of course, is very suspicious that he's with Mossad, blackmailing people for Mossad, always investing in science and technology. Bill Gates, who said he has no relationship with Epstein, reportedly met with the disgraced financier multiple times, including a 2011 meeting with billionaire and her teenage daughter. Ooh. And this was after Epstein was busted. Bill Gates addressed his multiple meetings with Jeffrey Epstein. He says, I made a mistake in judgment. Supposedly one of the richest guys in the world, but he has to go get money. His excuse was Epstein makes a lot of money. So he had to meet with him for investments, I guess, as if Bill Gates doesn't have enough money, right? Does anybody believe that? And then Microsoft Israel, Bill Gates' company, Microsoft Israel offices in Ra'anah, Tel Aviv, Herzliya, Haifa, and Nazareth. Collectively, the offices host various disciplines, including sales and marketing, along with software and hardware development domains such as cybersecurity, Israel's cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and business intelligence, among others. Microsoft to launch new cloud data center region in Israel. This is the Pentagon cloud contract, the Jedi cloud contract that they were fighting with Amazon for. Microsoft to launch new cloud data center region in Israel. Not to mention Intel and all the chips and stuff over in Israel. And if we just do a quick search for Jerusalem cybersecurity, look at what we have here. New York City launches $100 million Israeli run. This is what I'm looking for. Cyber Center in New York, run by Israel. And then 2016, we have From Jerusalem Shall Come Forth Cybersecurity. It says Cyber Guru. They're always trying to say, there's a special saying that, they study the Kabbalah and that's what inspires them for their advanced technology and stuff like that. So anyway, Bill Gates, Microsoft, COVID, the vaccines, Epstein, just another example of the Israeli tie-ins with the Great Reset and the pandemic. Now, Temple Coins introduce limited edition Abraham Accord medallion. On the back of the medallion, you can see here the sword, the prophecy of Isaiah, where the swords will be turned into plowshares. So they have not plowshares, but advanced tech, genetically modifying, satellites, space, peace. There's the peace dove, Saturn. Very interesting that there's Saturn there, considering that there's this astrological Saturn injunction stuff going on. I covered it in the last video at the end. But also notice the vaccine right there, the digital, like the Matrix, which we're going to get into here in a second. So just there you go, all the tech, all on the coin. Now, just one more. Here we go. Palantir, big tech company that is Peter Thiel's tech company. Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, come from PayPal. Pierre Omidyar involved with PayPal. He's funding the ADL's artificial intelligence hate lab for Silicon Valley censorship. Palantir to help U.S. track COVID-19 vaccines. Oh, for the mass rollout by the military and Operation Warp Speed. They call it Palantir develops Tiberius system to track COVID-19 vaccine. Now, who is Tiberius? Well, the siege of Jerusalem by Roman Emperor, future Emperor Titus, his second in command was Tiberius Julius Alexander. He is who helped him destroy the Second Temple in Jerusalem. And listen to what it says down here. The top Jewish Flavian historian, where is it? Oh, it's the next one. Shoot. What is going on? Tiberius Julius Alexander was there with Titus when they destroyed the temple. And here it is. Josephus, Flavius Josephus, accounts the sequence of events of the destruction of the temple, and it's highly contradictory. Due to God's will, Nebuchadnezzar and the Romans being but his instruments. In rabbinic tradition, both this and the earlier destruction of the temple were due to God's will, and the Romans, Esau, Edom, are his instruments. The divine, satanic, son of Samael persecution. This is how they view all of this. So we have Tiberius destroying the temple. Tisha B'Av is the Jewish holiday of the destruction of the two temples, happened on the same day, and it's all God's will. They needed the exile. They needed the dispersion. They needed to be trodden down and persecuted by the Gentiles to fulfill their prophecies, culminating in the big burnt offering, 6 million gematria, Holocaust, atonement, redemption sacrifice. And then now that's what changed the Christian stuff, where the Christians are now celebrating the new suffering Messiah of all the Jewish people in the Noahide laws. So that's interesting. And I believe that's about, the hydroxychloroquine videos.
I want to hear it, but, that's part of the game, so I don't really mind.
They started 4 minutes ago. We're about to watch this now. I'm going to maybe just stream it here and cut this whole thing out. But... what was I going to... Oh, we're going to watch this. This is too important. I got to add this in here. This is Animatrix. This was made in 2003. This is the prequel to the Matrix series, which the Matrix was made by transgender Wachowski sisters. And there's so much stuff online about Matrix symbolism of Kabbalah. And in Bjorkness's book, the whole first chapter is about the androgyny agenda. And of course, the creators of this say that this is about transgenderism also and connected to Kabbalah and stuff. Now watch this little cartoon, the Second Renaissance, or the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Look at this from 2003. You'll see the Israel connection. Please be loud. Advanced technology, the silicone revolution. This is Shekinah, the mother god. The mother goddess.
Welcome to the Zion Archive.
The Zion
You
Archive.
have selected historical file number 12-1.
They literally call it the Zion Archive. Think of Neo as the chosen one, as the Messiah with the whole red pill situation. And remember, also, it's important to point this out. We search in my files, Matrix. We see that in the movie The Matrix, which I think was 2001 or 2000 it came out, it was 2000. September 11th, 2001 is when his ID expires. This was shown on screen in The Matrix, which came out in 1999. Again, just coincidences, I'm sure, right, guys? Just a coincidence that September, and there's all these other predictive programming, 9/11 stuff. I mean, come on.
The Second Renaissance.
Second Renaissance, aka the Fourth Industrial Revolution.
In the beginning, there was man, and for a time, it was good. But humanity's so-called civil societies soon fell victim to vanity and corruption.
In the beginning, so it's all biblical references.
Then man made the machine in his own likeness.
Oops, pardon me. Coming through.
The robots represent the Jews in this.
Thus did man become the architect of his own demise. But for a time, it was good. The machines worked tirelessly to do man's bidding.
Okay, and then the robots were persecuted. They go to Congress and fight for their rights, but then there's a Holocaust. There's a robot Holocaust.
Their demonstration in front of the Albany District Courthouse in what has now been dubbed the Million Machine March. The demonstrators have been met with squads of civil defense forces in riot gear.
Okay, here it is. So we have the robot Holocaust, and then what happens?
Die, fire, die!
Little slow, sorry. I wish I had it.
Banished from humanity, the machines sought refuge in their own promised land. They settled in the cradle of human civilization, and thus a new nation was born. A place the machines could call home. A place they could raise their descendants. And they christened the nation 01.
So, robot Holocaust, and then they go to the promised land, the cradle of civilization, and their country is reborn.
In their own promised land. They settled in the cradle of human civilization.
Conquered.
And thus a new nation was born. A place the machines could call home. a place they could raise their descendants.
Now, mind you, Netanyahu says that they had a decades-long, maybe longer, but since he's been in government, they've had a long-term plan to excel in advanced technology. Well, there's nothing wrong with educating people, but it just shows that this has been a military, deliberate, planned out, orchestrated, engineered agenda. And watch this predictive programming. Holocaust, rebuild their nation, and then excel in advanced technology and rule the world.
And they christened the nation 01. 01 prospered, and for a time, it was good. The machine's artificial intelligence could be seen in every facet of man's society, including eventually the creation of new and better AI.
AI from the chosen ones.
If you need the flexibility of a helipod with the speed of a high-performance air jet,
they're selling weapons.
Our patented vector thrust coil gives the 01 Versatran the ability to sustain normal flight in the event of a catastrophic multi-engine failure. Versatran, it's the only choice.
No matter what the finance minister and her spokespeople say, the market has spoken. The human nation's credit rating is falling like a stone, while 01's currency is climbing without stopping for breath.
You hear that? So the Gentiles world, the humans are collapsing, and the chosen one Jews and their new nation are taking over the world and the economy with advanced technology. This is 2003.
Headlines like that, the money markets have no choice but to
the
raise
leaders
their
of men, their power waning, refuse to cooperate with the fledgling nation, wishing rather that the world be divided.
They refuse to cooperate. Boycott the boycott agenda of Israel.
Nations cannot tolerate this kind of flagrant deception.
Today approved initiatives for both economic
the UN
and
resolutions that they're violating international law.
And isolation of 01.
And the war of Gog and Magog, where they win. They even show the UN. There's the fly that's on Pence's head. Just kidding.
One's ambassadors pleaded to be heard. At the United Nations, they presented plans for a stable civil relationship with the nations of man. 01's admission to the United Nations was denied. But it would not be the last time the machines would take the floor there.
The apple, another biblical. Transhumanism, and the goddess Shekinah. Like Kabbalist Ariana Grande's music video, God is a Woman, where she says the verse from the Bible about destroying Edom and God unleashing his fury and vengeance on Edom. There you go. The Second Renaissance, that's part one. Now, just to show you some other, how they hide this stuff in shows. Here's X-Men. Now think of the mutants as Jews and think of humans as Esau, as the Gentiles, okay? And this is Magneto giving this speech. Magneto, his backstory is that, and I was sending this to a buddy on through email, so I appreciate this. This speech from Magneto. Magneto has so many scenes and is well known as being a Holocaust survivor that it was at Auschwitz and his family was killed by Nazis. So it's, think of Jew and then the metaphor of Jews as mutants and having special gifts and being persecuted. Here we go. Esau and Jacob with this speech right here. Tyrion. I'll never be able to play this whole thing on YouTube. Probably get flagged. Come on, start the speech in front of all the Gentiles.
You built these weapons to destroy us. Why? Because you are afraid of our gifts.
You are afraid of our gifts. So the Jews, the chosen ones, their gift of being chosen, you're just jealous that they're chosen, of their success.
Because we are different.
We are different.
Humanity has always feared that which is different. Well, I'm here.
Humanity's always persecuted the Jews. That's their narrative.
To tell you, to tell the world, you're right to fear us. We are the future. We are the ones who will inherit this earth.
They will inherit the earth. That's another biblical concept. They will inherit the world to come. Jacob will inherit the world to come.
And anyone who stands in our way will suffer the same fate as these men you see before you.
What do I always say? Anybody that opposes the Zionist agenda, anybody that stands in the way of the Zionist agenda will be ruthlessly destroyed like Amalek. And remember, X-Men was created by Jews, right?
Today was meant to be a display of your power. Instead, I give you a glimpse of the devastation my race can unleash upon yours.
Did he say my race will unleash on yours?
Let this be a warning to the world. And to my mutant brothers and sisters out there, I say this: no more hiding, no more suffering. You have lived in the shadows in shame and fear for too long. Come out. Join me. Fight together in a brotherhood of our kind. A new tomorrow that starts today.
All those years wasted fighting each other, Charles.
Okay, and it's just to show you guys Magneto's character. He is a Jew that was in Auschwitz. Like, that's in all of the X-Men series. This is a common thing of his backstory. Multiple movies have scenes with this, you know, like Hollywood, typical Hollywood. This is what they're always portraying. Anyway, there's that. And then here's just something else too. X-Men as J-Men, the Jewish subtext of a comic book movie. So, I mean, it's all there. Anyway, so we got Matrix, we got X-Men, it's everywhere, guys. That is all I have for today. Thanks all for watching. This is just out today. Former head of Israel's space program. The aliens asked, so this is Israel's space, the head of Israel's space program. The aliens asked not to be revealed. Humanity is not yet ready. Can you believe that shit? Operation Bluebeam. And then I shared this. Remember this Kabbalah rabbi that says that they're aliens from a different dimension here to conquer Earth?
Towards the final correction. We have to wake up. We have to remember that we have a special mission. And really, this isn't our place. We're coming from a completely different place. So we have to find our friends according to this awakening. Did you get a phone call? I got a phone call. He got a phone call, and so on. And then we gather as a group. So from this entire planet, we are aliens. We're coming from a different galaxy. We received this ray of light, this awakening, individually, and now we're gathering as
they think they have special powers and they're destined to lead the world.
Groups, starting to prep ourselves to conquer Earth.
To conquer Earth. And now there's the head of the Israel space program is saying the aliens are here. We got the monoliths going around as well, too. That's weird. We got the astrological Saturn alignment stuff happening. This total madness. Okay, let's wrap this up. Quick wrap up. So all this stuff I covered, all of these Israel, anti-Semitism, ADL, Chabad Lubavitch, Israel, Fourth Industrial Revolution, cybersecurity, future world, smart cities, Internet of Things, total track and control, just absolutely everything is all unfolding. And so many people online, all these conspiracy researchers and podcasters and people, notice this is the most important issue that they're all leaving out. Anyway, share this video. This is about the future of the country and the world. They're trying to set up a Zionist, Noahide, one world government according to the prophecies. Even the Great Reset is totally tied in with all of this. Share the video, educate yourselves, share it with your friends. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below on BitChute. Make sure to follow on No More News newsletter for the email. Support the channel. Support independent media. There's a new No More News Clips YouTube channel. Follow on BitChute. Follow on DLive. And, of course, we're going to finish up with this anomaly interview here. But also, Tuesday, next video is going to be Tuesday, December 8th, 7 p.m. Eastern. E. Michael Jones versus Christopher John Björknes. I will see you guys then. Don't miss it. It's going to be an amazing, epic discussion. I will see you guys all then. Thanks for watching.